The school courtyard overflowed with students. The air pulsed with excitement. Everyone expected a fairy tale. Takumi Sato, the soccer captain, had just won nationals. Now he faced Honoka Suzuki to confess.
Honoka Suzuki, I've liked you for years. Please go out with me.
I'm sorry, I cannot accept.
A wave of shock rippled outward. Hands flew to mouths. The golden boy of the school had just been rejected publicly.
But I don't understand. You're not even curious? After all this time?
My heart already belongs to someone. Please respect that.
While the crowd buzzed, no one noticed Kotaro Yamamoto in the back. His arms went limp, and his books scattered across the concrete.
Wait? She turned him down? But she's the top student. There's no way she'd ever look at someone like me.
Honoka turned and walked away through the parted sea of students, her expression unbreakable. The whispers grew louder, but she offered no explanation. The confession that should have been a headline became a question mark, and the quiet boy with the broken glasses, crouching to gather his life from the ground, had just been pulled into a story he never asked for. By lunch, the school buzzed. Who had stolen Honoka's heart? Rumors flew wild.
A senpai. A celebrity. They guess everything. No one looks in the quiet corners.
On the edge of the field, Takumi sat alone. His teammates kept their distance. He'd lost a game he didn't know he played.
She said someone else. I wonder who. I hope he's good enough.
Honoka passed the library window. Snow was falling, pulling her back 6 months. That night, she'd searched desperately. Her notebook, her semester's work gone.
Excuse me. Is this yours? I found it under the radiator.
You found it. Thank you. I was ready to give up.
He just nodded and left before she could ask his name. But she remembered the light in his eyes. The rumors meant nothing. She knew who she needed to see, the boy who dropped his books while the world watched someone else. That evening, Honoka sat on her bed with an old notebook. The winter night flashed through her mind again, the cold, the panic, and a quiet boy with a flashlight.
He never asked for thanks. He just slipped away as if he'd done nothing. But that moment changed everything. After that, I started noticing him. The way he'd lose himself in books at lunch. The way no one saw him. I've watched him for months. And today, when Takumi confessed, all I could see was Kotaro's face in the back of my mind.
She closed the notebook with a quiet snap. The decision pressed into her chest like a held breath. Memories were no longer enough. She had to find him, and she had to say it. The next day, she found him exactly where she expected. The library corner, alone, with a stack of books.
There he is. I've rehearsed this a dozen times. Why is my heart pounding louder than yesterday?
She stepped forward, each footfall swallowed by the hush. Kotaro didn't look up. He never did. She stopped at his table. The world outside the library didn't matter. Only this moment existed.
Kotaro, I wanted to thank you. For last winter, you found my notebook and never even told me your name.
Kotaro finally looked up, his glasses catching the light. He had no memory of anyone thanking him for anything.
I've been wanting to say something since that night. I've fallen for you, Kotaro.
What? You're making fun of me, right? Someone like you. With me?
I'm not joking. I've never been more serious.
This can't be real. She rejected Takumi for me.
Honoka wrote her number on a slip of paper and slid it across the wooden table. Kotaro stared at the paper as if it were a foreign object. His hands shook slightly.
Text me when you're ready to believe it. I'll wait.
She turned and walked out, leaving Kotaro frozen in place. The slip of paper burned in his palm. The quiet nerd had just become the center of a story he didn't know how to survive.
Honoka Suzuki confessed to me. It must be a prank. But her eyes, they weren't lying.
His mind replayed the school years like a silent film, every seat taken, every group chat he'd never been added to.
Someone like me doesn't get the girl. I'll just embarrass her. I should throw this number away.
He crumpled the paper, then froze. The memory of her voice, soft, certain, stopped him. He smoothed it out again. The next morning, gossip had found a new target. Kotaro's name slipped into the rumor mill like a bad joke.
They're saying her secret crush is me? But how? No one saw us in the library.
A voice cut through the hall, mocking. No way the honor student picks that guy. She must have messed up her contacts.
Maybe I should just disappear. But she's waiting for me to text.
He pulled out his phone, stared at the creased slip of paper, and typed the bravest word he'd ever written. He hit send, but the hallway had eyes he didn't see, and one pair already sharpened into a grin. Morning class started normally until Kotaro opened his bag, and his pale face went white.
No, my essay. It was here last night. Someone took it.
The teacher's gaze turned sharp. The room filled with snickers. Nothing had been this funny all year.
He can use my notes. I'll share my copy.
Wow, Suzuki-san really does have a soft spot for the invisible guy. Maybe she's his guardian angel.
A few students laughed. Kotaro's face burned. But the boy with the sharp eyes, Ren Kuroi, looked almost satisfied.
Back off, Ren. That was unnecessary.
I was just joking, Captain. Sensitive much? Relax. I'm not the one who stole his homework.
Later, alone in the stairwell, Ren checked his phone. The smirk spread slowly, exactly as planned. Honoka watched him from the corridor's end. She didn't have proof yet, but her suspicion had found a target. The next morning, Kotaro found his locker door smeared in red paint, losers scrawled across it. Students passed with phones ready.
What did I do? I just exist, and that's a crime to them.
Between classes, a photoshopped image went viral, his face pasted on a crying baby. The laughter echoed in every corner.
She's getting dragged into this because of me. I should end it before she gets hurt too.
Enough. Delete that image right now. You should be ashamed.
Honoka, you don't have to do this. Stay away from me. It'll only get worse.
I'm not leaving you to them. Let them talk. I chose you and I'm not taking it back.
From the rooftop stairwell, Ren watched the scene below. The corner of his mouth curled. The plan was working better than expected. Honoka sensed eyes on her. When she glanced up, the stairwell was empty, but the unease stuck like a burr. Kotaro's guilt deepened, but Honoka's resolve sharpened. Somewhere in this school, someone was pulling strings, and she intended to cut them. That evening, Honoka spread her notes across the desk. Every incident, every whisper, aligned like a constellation.
Ren is always there. Not directly, but always nearby. This isn't random.
She shadowed him without being seen, learned his shortcuts, his habit of pausing at the stairwell to text.
Who do you report to, Kuroi? No one smirks that much over nothing.
Then a torn corner of paper under the stairwell, crinkled but clear. She placed the scrap next to a photo of the graffiti. The loops and slants were identical. The torn note belonged to Ren Kuroi. The sabotage had an author.
But why? Kotaro never hurt anyone. Unless the target isn't him, it's me, or Takumi, or something else entirely.
She folded the scrap into her notebook. The next step was dangerous, but nothing else mattered. Honoka closed her drawer. Proof was still thin, but doubt had vanished. Ren Kuroi would answer for this. The rain began after last bell. Honoka pulled her hood low and followed the figure cutting through back streets.
Where is he going? This isn't toward his neighborhood.
Then Ren stopped under an overpass. An older man in a worn coat stepped from the shadows. They spoke in low, sharp tones.
That man. Who is he? I've never seen him at school.
What does it matter to you? You chose him years ago, that perfect Sato-san.
Honoka's breath caught. She pressed herself against the concrete. Her phone camera was already recording.
I'll drag him down. His reputation, his precious friends. He'll lose everything.
The older man just shook his head. But his face, the cheekbones, the set of his eyes, they matched Ren's. Later, Honoka combed through online articles. A business scandal. A hidden second family. The man's name appeared twice, Kuroi and Sato.
Ren and Takumi share a father. That's the engine behind all of this. Not school jealousy, but a broken family and revenge.
By the next period, the accusation spread like gasoline. Kotaro Yamamoto had cheated on the exam. His textbooks found drowned in the bathroom sink seemed to confirm the verdict.
This is the end. Even if Honoka believes me, how can she stay with someone who's just a target?
Honoka had checked every corner. When she found him in the science room, she didn't hesitate. She crouched, her shadow falling over his broken glasses.
Please, walk away from me. You don't deserve this stain. I'm giving you an out. Take it.
I'm not taking an out when I haven't lost yet. And I know exactly who's behind this.
She brought out her phone. The rain-streaked photo glowed between them. Ren, his face twisted with hate, and the man they both now recognized.
That's Ren? And who is that man?
His father. Also Takumi's father. Ren has been poisoning the school to ruin his half-brother. And you were just leverage.
A family war. And I was just the ammunition.
I'm going to make him answer for this. Publicly, Kotaro. I need you to trust me one more time.
The next morning, Honoka slipped a recording pen into her bag. The device was small, but the risk was enormous.
One careless sentence is all I need. Say it, Ren. Say it loud enough.
The cheating rumor was a nice touch. Even the teachers doubt him now. Keep pushing the photos.
This is it. Every word. Keep talking, Kuroi.
Ren's head snapped toward the corner. Honoka's heart stopped. She tilted her book higher and forced her eyes not to blink. He muttered something and walked away. Honoka waited a full minute before she dared breathe again. That night, she played the audio back. Ren's voice was unmistakable, admitting the rumor was planted. The recording was clear. Old registration files confirmed what she now knew. Ren Kuroi transferred from a neighboring district under a different surname, Sato, until the age of 8. The photo of Ren and his father, the recording, the transfer records, Honoka pinned them to her board. The pattern was undeniable.
Tomorrow the truth comes out. No more hiding. For Kotaro, and for everyone who couldn't fight back.
Before first bell, Honoka found Kotaro at the garden bench, his face pale as the morning mist.
I'm calling a school assembly. I'll present everything. The recording, the photo, the transfer records.
An assembly? Honoka, that's... If it fails, you'll be the one they laugh at forever.
Then we won't fail. Kotaro, you've been invisible your whole school life. I'm going to make them see you and the truth.
She held out her pinky. Kotaro stared at it like it was a lifeline he didn't deserve.
I'm scared. But... okay. I'll be there. Right in the front row.
That evening, Honoka wrote a letter to Takumi. She didn't spell out the secret, only that he needed to be at the assembly for someone who shared his blood. She slipped it under the soccer club room door. The gamble was enormous. If Takumi ignored it, the truth might crush him unprepared.
I hope he comes. This family wound needs to face daylight, not fester in silence.
The stage was set. Tomorrow, the school would watch the quiet nerd become the center, and the most popular boy would learn he had a brother he never knew. The assembly hall throbbed with restless murmurs. Then Honoka walked to the center, and the microphone squealed into silence.
Ren Kuroi, stand up. Everyone here needs to hear what you've been doing.
The crowd rustled like startled birds. All eyes turned toward the back corner where Ren froze.
Is this a performance, Suzuki? I'm flattered.
No performance. I have recordings, photos, and records. You sabotaged Kotaro Yamamoto for weeks.
She clicked the remote. The screen lit up. The recording icon. The incriminating photo. A collective gasp rose.
That's fabricated. You're just trying to save your pathetic boyfriend.
She's really doing it. Hold on, Honoka.
Then explain the transfer records. Explain the note with your handwriting. It's all here.
The silence stretched like a wire about to snap. Ren's face went pale, but his eyes burned with something deeper.
That could be anyone's voice. You think I'm stupid enough to confess in a hallway?
Honoka pressed play. Ren's voice, cold, unmistakable, bragged about the cheating rumor, demanding more photos. A wave of disgust swept the room. Students near Ren edged away, as if his malice were contagious.
Ren, I don't understand. Why would you do something like this?
There's more. The man in this photo is your father, Sato-kun. He's Ren's father, too.
Takumi's hands shook. The man in the photo had his eyes, his mother's smile, and beside him was Ren.
Ren Kuroi is your half-brother. He's been trying to destroy your reputation by destroying someone I care about.
The auditorium fractured into chaos. In the front row, Kotaro sat motionless, his knuckles white on his knees.
Shut up. You don't know anything about me. About what it was like growing up in his shadow.
Takumi didn't move. The photograph trembled. For the first time, the most popular boy in school had no words.
He got everything. The name, the house, the future. I got a one-room apartment and a father who forgot my birthday.
A memory flickered behind Ren's eyes. A small boy pressing his face against a fence, watching Takumi kick a soccer ball with their father.
I thought if I could make everyone hate you, even a little, you'd finally understand what it's like to be invisible.
Takumi's fists clenched at his sides. The golden boy's armor cracked, replaced by a guilt he never knew he carried.
Yes, I did it. I stole his homework, I defaced his locker, I spread every lie, and I'd do it again.
Ren, I never knew. I'm so sorry you were alone.
This was never about me. I was just a tool for someone else's suffering.
The pain you've caused is real. But maybe it started with a pain that wasn't your fault either.
Ren's shoulders shook. The sneer was gone. A scared boy stood in its place, exposed before the entire school. For a moment, the auditorium was silent. The most popular boy, the quiet nerd, and the vengeful brother, all frozen in the same blinding truth. Then Takumi stepped toward the center, his voice cutting the silence with a force no one expected.
I owe you all an apology. The harassment Kotaro suffered, it was my brother's doing, not his. Kotaro Yamamoto is innocent.
The auditorium shifted. Sneers melted into uncomfortable glances. Some students looked at Kotaro with something they'd never shown before.
He's defending me. Sato, the guy she rejected, is defending me.
And I thank Honoka Suzuki. Without her courage, this poison would have continued.
Honoka only nodded, her gaze finding Kotaro's. In that glance, everything was said. In the back, Ren stood alone. No one looked at him. The weight of his confession pressed him into stillness.
And to you, Kotaro, I apologize most of all. You suffered for a feud you never chose.
Kotaro's lips parted, but no words came. The silence was a language of its own. For the first time, the school saw Kotaro not as a target, but as a person. The tide had turned. The assembly dissolved like mist. Students filtered out, voices hushed, the weight of revelation still settling. Honoka stepped down and found Kotaro still in the front row. She extended her hand without a word. He took it, their fingers interlaced in full view of the emptying hall. No whispers rose this time. Outside, sunshine washed the courtyard. Two classmates approached with bowed heads.
Kotaro? They want to say something.
It's okay. I hear you.
From near the gate, Takumi stood motionless, watching them leave. His eyes carried a storm he hadn't yet named. He had defended the boy she chose. It didn't ease the ache, but it planted something new. At the opposite exit, a teacher led Ren toward the office. He walked like a ghost, not looking back. Their hands stayed clasped. For Kotaro, it felt like stepping into a world where he might finally belong. They walked the river path, the water glinting in the late afternoon sun. Kotaro's steps were lighter than they'd ever been.
Honoka. I still don't fully believe it. You saw me when no one else did.
I looked. That's all. You were always worth looking at.
I spent years believing I'd never be seen. But you broke through that. I want to be braver now.
You already are. Facing that assembly, trusting me, that was bravery, Kotaro.
He laughed, a sound so rare it startled even him.
There it is. That's the Kotaro I want to keep hearing.
He turned to her, eyes suddenly serious. Then he wrapped his arms around her, holding tight.
Thank you for not giving up on me. I'll keep working to be worthy of this.
She didn't answer, just held him tighter. The river murmured past, carrying away the last shadows of the past weeks. As dusk bled into the sky, Takumi climbed the school rooftop. Ren was there, back against the railing, a silhouette of defeat. He sat down beside him without a word. The space between them was heavy with everything unsaid.
Go away. You got your moment. Don't pretend you care now.
I didn't know, Ren. I never knew you existed. But I want to try, if you'll let me.
Try? What? Play happy brothers after 18 years of silence? Don't bother.
I brought you something, in case you're hungry.
He placed a plastic bag on the ground, rice balls and tea, and stood, the gesture heavier than any apology.
I'll come back tomorrow. I'm not giving up.
That stupid photo. Why do I still keep it?
Nothing was fixed. But the silence between them had shifted, and a crack, small, tentative, had opened. A few days later, the school had a strange, fragile quiet. The gossip had ebbed, replaced by cautious glances and small, unfamiliar courtesies.
Sure. I mean, yes, I'd like to join the study group.
From 2 rows back, Honoka watched the scene unfold. A small, quiet smile touched her lips.
He's doing it. The boy who thought he'd always be invisible. People are finally seeing him.
Kotaro fumbled with his glasses but held his ground. The simple act of belonging tasted unfamiliar and good. On the soccer field, Takumi launched the ball toward the goal. His form was perfect, but his eyes were elsewhere.
I used to think winning was everything. Now I just wonder if I can fix what I didn't break.
No cheers followed. The team had left an hour ago. The captain remained alone, practicing a new kind of patience. The school days turned. Kotaro's laughter once seemed impossible. Now it sprinkled through the halls, a soft echo of change. Not everyone forgot. Some wounds take time. But the quiet nerd no longer walked alone, and that was a beginning. The library light was golden, dust motes floating like forgotten wishes. Honoka and Kotaro sat across from each other, books open, shoulders relaxed.
I've been thinking about university, about what comes after.
And? Have you decided something?
I want to be a teacher. Someone who notices the quiet kids before they disappear.
That's perfect for you. And wherever that takes you, I'll be by your side.
She slid her earbud free and offered one to him. A quiet song filled the space only they occupied.
A year ago, I was alone in this same library. Now I have a future and someone to share it with.
Honoka leaned over and pressed her lips to his cheek, soft as a page turning.
For luck. And because I've wanted to do that for a very long time.
Outside the window, the sky was clear. Inside, the quiet nerd and the girl who chose him shared a silence that said more than any confession ever could. They left the library as sunset painted the sky. Hand in hand, Honoka and Kotaro walked the same courtyard where everything changed. In the distance, Takumi still practiced on the empty field. From the school window, a figure stood motionless, Ren, watching the sky. The courtyard that once held 100 whispers now held only 2, and the ghost of a confession that chose the wrong boy.
I never thought I'd walk this path with someone, let alone you.
The world is full of things we never thought would happen. That's what makes it ours.
Some wounds need more than words, but Takumi's solitary kicks and Ren's silent vigil hinted at a future not yet written.
No regrets, Kotaro?
Only one, that I didn't notice you sooner.
The most popular boy confessed to her, but she'd already fallen for the quiet nerd. And that was exactly the story she wanted to tell.